Hello students, let us discuss regarding normal labor today. Okay. So what is normal labor? So it is a series of events which is taking place inside the genital organs. Okay. So where these events are taking place? These events are taking place in the genital organs. And why these events are taking place inside the genital organs? In order to expel the products of conception from the uterus through the vagina to the outer world. So this is known as labor. And so what is labor? Labor means it is a series of events which is taking place inside the genital organs of a woman, so that because of this event, the products of conception will be expelled from her uterus through the vagina to the outer world. This is known as labor or euthanasia. So the other name for labor, it is euthanasia. So let's see the next slide, that is what is the stages of labor. So everybody knows what are the stages of labor. There are 4 stages of labor: first stage, second stage, third stage and fourth stage. First stage, it is also known as cervical stage. And what is the cervical stage? It is the starting of true labor pain, onset of true labor pain to the full dilatation of the cervix. So that period is known as cervical stage or first stage. Hope you have understood. So what is the cervical stage or first stage of labor? It is starting of the true labor pain to the full dilatation of the cervix. So in a primary mother, it will take about 10 to 12 hours. And in a multigravida mother, it is taking about 6 to 8 hours. Okay. So next one, it is second stage of labor. What is the second stage of labor? So second stage of labor starts from full dilatation of the cervix to the expulsion of fetus. This stage is also known as fetal stage. So what is the second stage? Second stage means it is starting from the full dilatation of the cervix to the expulsion of fetus. And in a primary mother, it is taking about 2 hours. And in a multigravida mother, it is taking only 30 minutes. So moving on to the next one, that is the third stage. So what is the third stage? Expulsion of the fetus to the expulsion of placenta and membranes. Okay. So third stage, it starts from the fetal expulsion to the expulsion of placenta and membranes. What is the duration of this stage? So it is taking only 15 minutes for both primary gravida and a multi-mother. Okay. So next one, it is the fourth stage. So fourth stage of labor, it means expulsion of placenta. From the expulsion of placenta to the 2 hours of observation, we will call it as fourth stage of labor. Okay. So the stages of labor, it is divided into 2. First stage, that is the cervical stage, starting from the true labor pain to the full dilatation of the cervix. Second stage or the fetal stage, it starts from the dilatation of the cervix to the expulsion of the fetus. Third stage, it is from the expulsion of fetus to the expulsion of placenta and membranes. Fourth stage, it is expulsion of placenta to the 2 hours of observation. And when we are seeing the duration of each stage, first stage duration is 10 to 12 hours in a primary mother and 6 to 8 hours in a multi-mother. The second stage duration, it is 2 hours for a primary mother and 30 minutes for a multi-mother. And it will take only 15 minutes for the third stage in both the cases, that is in primary and in the multi. Okay. Next one, what is the criteria for the true labor to happen? Okay. So if the mother fulfills these criteria, so what are these criteria? Spontaneous. If the labor is spontaneous, if it is occurring at term, with the vertex presentation, without any prolongation, and if the labor is completed within 18 hours with no complications to the mother and the fetus. So when the labor is fulfilling these criteria, so if you're seeing how many criteria are there? 6 criteria. So when the labor is fulfilling the 6 criteria, we will call that labor as a normal labor. Okay. So what are the criteria of a normal labor to happen? Number 1, it is a spontaneous one. It is occurring at term with the vertex presentation and without any prolongation. Always it will be completed within the 18 hours and there will not be any complications to the mother and the fetus. Next, we will see what are the causes of onset of labor. Okay. So for a normal labor to happen, normal delivery to happen, there are many reasons behind it. What are those? Number one, it is uterine distension. Okay. Whenever myometrium, so everybody knows myometrium means it is consisting of smooth muscles. Okay. So that muscle layer, it will stretch out completely by the growing fetus, and because of the stress from the amniotic fluid. Okay. So uterus, it is distending because of the effect of the myometrium muscles, and why that stretching effect is there in the myometrium, or why this stretching effect is there in the muscles, because of the size of the fetus. As the gravity uterus increases, because of the size of the fetus and because of the amniotic fluid, there is a pressure exerting over the uterus. So because of that, there will be onset of labor. Second one, oxytocin stimulation. So the oxytocin which is produced from the posterior pituitary gland, the receptors are there in the myometrium. So that will be stimulating. So the oxytocin which is produced, it will stimulate the muscles in the myometrium. That is another one reason. Next one, it is progesterone withdrawal. So when the woman is reaching the term time, there will be decrease in the progesterone level in her body, where that progesterone, which progesterone, it was supporting the pregnancy. So when it is occurring the term, when the mother moves to the term time period, what will happen? The progesterone in her body, it will decrease, and that decrease in progesterone, it is causing the prostaglandin synthesis. Okay. Then once the prostaglandin synthesis occurs in the body of the pregnant woman, the estrogen will have some effect, and that effect of estrogen, it is increased effect of estrogen, it is producing the effect on the uterine muscles. So what is that effect there? Uterine muscles will start to contract and retract. Clear? So progesterone withdrawal, if you are saying, as the progesterone level in the body of the pregnant woman, it is decreasing, the synthesis of prostaglandin will start in her body, and that will cause increased effect on the estrogen, and the increased level of estrogen is causing the muscles to contract here. So that will cause the onset of labor. Next one, estrogen stimulation. As the estrogen increases, there will be stimulation. Next one, fetoplacental contribution. What this fetus and placenta is contributing, how they are contributing to the onset of labor. So because of the unknown factors, the hypothalamus of the fetus, that will get stimulated. When the hypothalamus is stimulated, cortisol secretion will be increased in the body of the women, and that will cause increased production of estrogen and prostaglandin, and this increased progesterone and estrogen and progesterone, that is causing the myometrial layer to contract and retract. So these are the causes of onset of labor. So what are the causes? Because of the uterine distension, because of the oxytocin stimulation and estrogen stimulation, as the progesterone withdraws from her body, and some contribution is there from the fetus and the placenta. So because of these reasons, there will be onset of labor. Okay. So let us see regarding the false labor. Okay. So what is false labor? False labor, it is also known as spurious labor, and this type of labor is commonly seen in a primigravida mother. Okay. And prior to a true labor pain, this will happen. So if you're seeing the features of this pain, it is very dull in nature, and that is only confined to the lower abdomen and the groin region. It will not radiate. Next one, it is continuous, but it is not related to the hardening of the uterus. Hardening of the uterus will not be there as a result of the false labor pains. Okay. Next one, no dilatation of the cervix and relieved by administration of sedatives. Okay. So these are the features of the pain which we are seeing in a false labor. Okay. So false labor, which is also known as spurious labor, commonly found in a primigravida mother, and this pain that will be appearing prior to the true labor pain. So what are the features of that pain? That pain will be very dull in nature, and the women will feel the pain only in the lower abdomen and in the groin region. It is continuous, but there is no hardening of uterus, no dilatation of cervix, and the pain will be relieved by the administration of sedatives. Okay. So moving on to the next one, pre-labor. So what is pre-labor? So pre-labor, it means when the lightning occurs and some cervical changes will be there. So what is this lightning? So if you're seeing lightning means, otherwise we can call it as baby dropping. So where the baby is dropping into the pelvis. Okay. So hence the size of the fundal part that will be reducing. That is known as lightning, baby dropping. When the baby drops inside the pelvis, get engages inside the pelvis, the fundal part, if you're taking the fundal height, it will be less than the previous week or the previous month. So that is known as lightning. And what cervical changes will be there in the pre-labor? The cervix will start to ripen. So ripening means the dilatation, it will be there. That is the cervix will be admitting the tip of the finger, and also the effacement will start. So what is effacement? Effacement means that the cervix will be pulled upside. So in the next slides, it will be there. What are the physiological changes happening in the first stage of labor? So in that, the cervical changes. What are the cervical changes happening? So all that things are there in our next slides. Okay. So let us move on with true labor. So here comes our true labor. What is true labor? Powerful, painful uterine contractions at the regular intervals. If you're seeing the contraction, it is increasing with the intensity and the duration also increases. So when all this happens, whenever there is powerful uterine contractions with increased intensity and increased duration, there will be dilatation of cervix. Okay. So that type of pain is known as true labor. So let us see regarding the physiological changes happening in the first stage of labor. Okay. So in the first stage of labor, what are all the changes happening in the uterus? So fundal dominance is the first one. What is fundal dominance? Dominance. Fundus. In the fundus, what is happening? Contraction of the myometrial muscles. It will start near the fundus. It will spread to the side of the uterus. It will start when the peak reaches. So when the contraction peak reaches, what will happen? Contraction will start to fade from all the side of the uterus, and that will allow the cervix to dilate. Understood what is fundal dominance? Let me tell again. So fundal dominance, it means the contraction, myometrial muscles start to contract near to the fundal area. From the fundus, it will be spreading to all over all the parts of the uterus. When that contraction reaches its peak, that time what will happen? The contraction will start to fade, and will fade from all the side of the uterus. Hence, it is allowing the cervix to dilate. Okay, so that is known as fundal dominance. Next is polarity. So if you're seeing at the end of the trimester, third trimester, the uterus will be dividing into two poles, the upper pole and the lower pole. So the upper pole, it is responsible for the contraction of the muscles, and when it is retracting, it will expel the fetus outside. What lower pole is doing? Lower pole, it will contract very lively and it will dilate the cervix. Understood? So upper pole, what it is doing? Because of the strong contractions happening in the upper pole, the fetus will be expelling from the uterus. And what is happening in the lower pole? Lower pole will be contracting very lightly, and that is dilating the cervix. And the upper pole and the lower pole are in a relationship. That relationship is known as polarity. Understood? So what is polarity? Harmony between the upper pole and lower pole of the uterus is known as polarity. Okay. So moving to our next slide, contraction and retraction. Already I told the muscles are contracting and retracting regularly and at a particular rhythm. So every 15 to 20 minutes during the first hours of labor, first stage, in the first hours of labor, every 15 to 20 minutes, the muscles will be contracting, and each contraction will be lasting for 30 seconds. But at the end of the first stage of labor, the contraction, it is very powerful contraction which is occurring every 2 to 3 minutes, and each contraction will last for 50 to 30 seconds. Understood? So contraction and retraction. So contraction which was starting from the fundal part during the first hours of first stage of labor, it was happening only in every 15 to 20 minutes, and each contraction will be lasting for 30 seconds only. But at the end of the first stage, what it is happening, it will be occurring, the contractions will be occurring every 2 to 3 minutes, and that contraction, in that contraction, each contractions will be lasting for 50 to 30 seconds. Okay, so these are the changes, physiological changes happening in the uterus during the first stage of labor. So what are the changes happening in the uterus during the first stage of labor? It is fundal dominance, polarity, and the contraction and retraction of the muscles. Okay, next one, formation of upper and lower uterine segments. Already I have told you that by the end of the pregnancy, the uterus will be dividing into upper and the lower segment. Upper part, which is forming the fundus part, it is concerned with the contraction and retraction. Thereby, it will be expelling the fetus out. Lower part of the uterus, it is formed by the isthmus and cervix part, and that part, it is responsible for the dilation of the cervix. Okay. So upper part and lower part of the uterus, upper part which is formed from the fundus, it is responsible for the contraction and retraction. Lower part which is formed from the isthmus and cervix, it is responsible for the dilatation of the cervix. This is the second change. What is the next change? So next change is the formation of retraction ring. What is a retraction ring? It is a ridge which is formed between the upper pole and the lower pole of the uterus. A ridge formed between the upper and lower uterine segment, we will call it as retraction ring. Okay. Next change during the first stage of labor, it is cervical effacement. So effacement means it is thinning of the cervix and it is shortening of the cervical canal. If you're seeing, normally the length of the cervical canal, it is 2 to 3 centimeter. But when the cervix start to change, when the cervix ripens and the changes occurring in the cervix is cervical effacement. So what is cervical effacement? The cervix will start to thin and the cervical canal will start to shorten, and when it is shortened, the cervix will be only 1 centimeter in length. Understood? So thinning of the cervix and shortening of the cervical canal to 1 centimeter, that is termed as cervical effacement. Okay. So exactly what is happening? The muscle fibers which was around the internal os, that will pull the cervix upwards. Understood? So when it is pulling the cervix upwards, the cervix, it will enter inside the lower uterine segment, and thereby the length of the cervix, it will become shorter. Clear? So that is known as cervical effacement. So what is cervical effacement? Thinning of the cervix and shortening of the cervical canal to 1 centimeter, which is caused by the muscle fibers around the internal os. Okay. Next is cervical dilatation. Everybody knows the cervix, the external cervix, which was completely sealed during the pregnancy time, it will start to open from a small opening of it was 0 centimeter first, then it will be admitting the tip of the finger, and finally it will be enlarged. The opening will be enlarged to 10 centimeter. So that is cervical dilatation. That is from 0 centimeter, the cervix will be dilating to a maximum of 10 centimeters. So this is the next change. And the last physiological change, it is show. What is show? There is blood-stained discharge will be there from the cervix as a result of the loss of operculum. So what is operculum? Operculum, it means it was a mucus plug which was formed over the os, external and the internal os, by which the external and internal os, which was completely sealed during pregnancy. That mucus plug was known as operculum. So at the end of the first stage of labor, the operculum will be bursting out and the discharges, blood-stained discharges will be coming outside from the vagina. That discharge is known as show. Okay. So these are the changes happening in the during the first stage of labor. So what are the changes? Fundal dominance, polarity, contraction and retraction of the uterus, formation of upper and lower uterine segment, formation of retraction ring, cervical effacement, cervical dilatation, and the show. Okay. So in our today's class, we have saw regarding what is labor or eutosia. Next, what is false labor? What is true labor? False labor is also known as spurious labor. What is lightning we have saw. Then what are the criteria to be fulfilled? What are the stages of the labor? And also regarding the physiological changes during the first stage of labor. Hope you have understood today's class. Thank you.